2 videos.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Snap Decisions. I am your Snap DJ, your host with the most, and I am joined tonight by Glazer from Snap Judgements. My God, I'm going to say my own name twice. Snap Judgements podcast. Glazer, man, how are you? It's great to always have you back. It's patch day, but a little different than normal patch day.
I mean, it's shitty patch day. Yeah, it's
Yes.
like bad patch day. But also, I could be from Snap Decisions. I make some snappy decisions.
You could very well be. Yes. I would imagine you do for all the work that you do on this, and I would imagine your actual profession too requires some snap decisions. Yes. Like Glazer had mentioned, it is very different patch day today. We got cosmetic stuff. We got some fixes and things that they did to the game, although my game was super slow when I logged in early this afternoon. And so, I mean, I'm going to start with this because I know you had said to me last night you were going to yell at Second Dinner a little bit. But yeah, I want to start with this slide here, and let's just go into this. This was really, I guess, the big part of this patch, which is, of course, cosmetics.
Which is a joke, right?
Yeah.
If we took something we had and we recolored it, want to give us money? I mean, and people are, right?
They are.
I'm not mad that they're doing it. It's just, if you're gonna do this, so let me actually say this for anyone who's not looking, I guess. Collectible borders, which is basically you can buy for an individual card, not your whole collection, a specific border. That's it. You can buy a border. It works for every variant of that card. They have like metallic copper and then neon various colors, and they're not ugly, right? But this is something that's already in the game that you sort of get by upgrading your cards. And now it's like, but if we change the colors, will you give us money? And apparently the answer is yes. I'm not. And look, I'm perfectly happy to waste money on this game. I don't know. Good. I'm glad people are happy. This being a patch in and of itself fundamentally is, can I curse?
Yes.
Fucking stupid. I know a lot of people aren't complaining, and look, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I personally think this is fucking stupid. There are 2 game modes in this game, ladder and conquest, and they haven't touched conquest since they made it.
Yeah.
Like, they could fix it in 50 different ways, and they're just like, no, it's what it is. And like tons of queue times and nothing happens with it. And like, ladder has got an infinite leaderboard, but is ultimately otherwise the same for months and months and months now. And like, the only thing new to do in the game, really, is either you whale out and get all the new cards, or they do patch updates, or they do updates in patches for cards, right? Like, those are the only 2 things. And if they do those, then there's a bunch of new decks and new things to try, and the game is really cool. Instead, they were just like, hey, can you give us money? We're not actually going to change anything. Except you have more ways to give us money. And to me, that fucking sucks. Like, it completely sucks. I think it's complete bullshit. I'm getting all my curses out. I've got to record my video where I say this without curses right after we're done. But like, I think it's nonsense that like, okay. And then people are like, why do you think patches always have card changes in them? I don't know. I've been playing since global launch, and 100% of patches until today had card updates in them. So I thought, since every patch would have card updates, that this one would too. And then they're like, but don't you want them to update the client? And I was like, well, A, that's completely different fucking teams, right? The people that update the client aren't the same people that update the patch. B, the client sucks right now.
Yeah,
it's not working any better. And C, if you look at the patch notes, there's next to nothing in them anyway. It's not like they fixed a bunch of bugs. This is less than they usually do. So all around, I am displeased with Second Dinner right now.
Yeah, I concur. I mean, it when people had heard about the fact that we weren't getting any card changes, and I listened to Lambie talking today on KM Best's show that he does with him about the fact that, listen, there's a ton of cards out there that can use buffs. So yeah, maybe there's nothing that they thought that they needed to take care of as far as nerfs go. But there's a ton of stuff that's out there that could be buffed, and they certainly could have done some of that. But and this, I thought when I saw this, the first thing that came into my head was, oh no, because of the people already kind of upset about the emote stuff and everything else that costs all that gold, and now you come out with this. And then I looked; it was hilarious when I I was in the Discord that we have, and I was talking to Lauren Whatevs, and number one, I got into it. I couldn't find it. I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I can't find this. I don't think I even have it. I even went so far as to put up a ticket. I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue where this is. Lauren's trying to explain it to me, and I'm like, nope. All I needed to do really was read the actual instructions on where to find it, and of course, I didn't. But when I found it, I'm like, and then I saw the prices, and then I thought, okay, well, maybe if I buy one, it unlocks it for everything, and nope, it unlocks it for that particular card only.
Well, that card and all its variants.
And the variants, yeah. So that is so like for me, of course, my first one was Galactus. So now I unlocked it for Galactus. Which they did institute the whole thing now where you can put whatever, like if you have inked and gold, you could put that on whichever one of the base cards. They did put that in there. But yeah, I had thought that was going to be the case. That is not the case. You have to pay, and there's more of these that they haven't even shown. There's a Starlight Sparkle kind of a one, like a blue sparkly one that they didn't bring out. And that does say that they're going to have them in other ways. So I'm assuming, I'm hoping, maybe more than assuming, that you'll be able to get something on the collection track, or maybe you'll be able to get it from an album. I don't know. But yeah, this kind of came off as a feels bad thing for me when I saw it, and I thought it came at a really bad time to do it as well.
I agree with everything you said. I mean, this was just, I am very unhappy. I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't know if anyone else is. I think that Griffin already earned his salary by putting out that post warning people in advance that this was going to be the case, because if they didn't warn people, this would have been a nightmare.
Yep.
But I think that they warned people, diffused a lot of people's anger. It didn't diffuse mine. I am every bit as upset as I was to start here. Like, literally, I feel no different.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. A lot of them too. Some of the people who showed, I put them on. I got 3 of them, and I put them on 3 cards. I put one on Galactus. I put the neon purple on it. Some other people went out and got them though, and honestly, like mine has a purple crackle thing. So with the neon, it looks like it's brighter. But some of them showed me theirs without that, and it doesn't really look. It doesn't really look like much at all. It looks just like a flat purple with a little bit of brightness in it, but you can't really even tell. A lot of people are asking me, well, why is yours different? And I'm like, I guess because of the crackle just makes it brighter. I don't know. But you could see like when they showed it. So I think people are going to be, I know they're, on my X, they're asking me questions about it. They're saying, why do they keep doing this stuff with money and all that kind of stuff? And I said, I don't know. I even had to ask Lauren, and maybe you could shine a light on this a little bit too. Have they found, because we all know what's happening with Newverse, right? They've split off or splitting off from Newverse. Have they found another buyer? Are they going to look for another buyer for the game, or are they just going to kind of go it alone?
I mean, it's not a buyer. This isn't an owner. This is just the person who sells a partner. This is the person who sells their shit, and they didn't officially say so, but it seems so. Like it seems like that 100 million they got at that point is whatever. Because I don't think they're part of Newverse anymore. Well, I guess their web store is still Newverse, but like
it is.
Newverse is closed. I don't know. I don't understand exactly what's happening, but I would assume so. I don't think it fucking matters. At this point, at this point, I don't think it matters. I don't really care. Monetize what the fuck you want in this game.
Yeah.
Give us things to do, right? Like if you're gonna monetize the shit out of the game, fine. If you want to price gouge, fine. Eventually I'll get sick of it and stop. Pokemon Pocket when. But fine. If that's your business model, then we can't control that. But then give me things to do in the game. And if the new modes or whatever else you're trying to make aren't ready, then do other stuff. Then throw us an occasional gimme to make us happy. And they're not doing that. They're just not doing that.
Yeah.
So
What? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just got nothing. That's it. I'm disappointed.
I'm your comment about Conquest. What would you fix it? How would you fix it?
Same way as it was Lauren's idea originally. I think just get rid of silver. Get rid of silver. Make proving grounds exactly 8 cubes, and call it a day.
Yeah.
And I think you're fine. Like I think silver conquest is stupid and a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like just you have proving grounds for 8 cubes. That means if everyone plays properly, it's you mostly have gold for infinity tickets. You call it a day.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I agree. It does seem like it does seem like a lot of a waste of time in many ways. So yeah, I agree. Well, all right, I'm gonna move on. The only thing that really kind of seemed cool today, after all of this business, was the data mines and stuff like that. So we'll go over that a little bit with you. That's my Galactus. That's the neon one, and it looks cool and all. Like I said, I got the ones I wanted. I got the comic book ones, and they're the only ones I really cared to get them for. So that was that is that. In case anyone wanted to see what that looks like, there it is. Oops. Well, we may as well talk about this. I was going to save this, but this was good news, right? We all talked about X-Men 97 at length on Glazer's podcast when I was on there, and this was a very pleasant surprise that we got to see. And you can see up there, it is Bishop. We also got a Mr. Sinister. It is labeled. You can see the little red label under the 3 that says X-Men 97. So we are getting, it looks like, variants for X-Men 97. Do you think this will just strictly be variants, or do you think that they could actually do it like a season for this?
No, it's going to be variants. I don't think the cards exist for the season. Like, unless we're doing like Henry Peter Gyrich, like how many characters have a reasonable sized role thus far?
Yeah.
In X-Men, it's Bastion, right? Like
Bastion,
I'm pretty sure it's just Bastion. I think every other character, and Madeline Pryor, I guess. So let's see if we can come up with 5 or 6, we can do a season. So Bastion, Madeline Pryor. Is that really it? Am I forgetting
who hasn't been done?
Executioner.
Like, yes. Yeah.
Yep. They're not going to release Good Guy Magneto as a different character. Oh, they can do some Shi'ar stuff. You can do like Lilandra.
Yeah, Lilandra can be in there.
So I guess you can do a season. I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to sell this to us in a big bundle. I think this is going to be like money. This is just going to be like cash money. And look, they're going to get my cash money for this. So yeah, like that's it. That's if you wanted my money, congratulations, you found how to get it. You release X-Men 97 variants, and then you say, "Give me $50 for Bishop," and I go, "I don't wanna, but here you go." So
yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, I hope they do enough, maybe, because I know a lot of people, when they were messing around with the X-Men versus Avengers thing and everything, maybe they might want to do that again, make like a team up, and you can have a lot of these variants in your decks if you want to play like X-Men decks or anything like that. But yeah, and there's the Mr. Sinister up there too. So yeah, this is fun. I really like that they're doing it, taking advantage, obviously, of the popularity of the show, which, by the way, starts the 3-part finale tomorrow. So the next 3 weeks are the last 3 episodes. They actually put out a trailer for the last 3 episodes, which I found to be a little strange that they did that. But it's
they did a mid-season trailer too.
Did they? Okay, yeah.
I don't watch trailers. I don't need that because like trailers for me. Like, I don't watch trailers for movies. Everyone's like, "Did you see the new Avengers, whatever, Marvel trailer?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I'm going to see it." The point of a trailer is to advertise something to me. And I'm not watching advertisements for fun, right? If I'm watching a trailer, it needs to sell me on something. And there's nothing for X-Men 97's trailer to sell me on. I already bought.
They didn't really show anything anyway. To be honest, it was just kind of a flashback. And that's really all it was. They kind of just showed things that happened in the past several episodes and stuff. Almost like a catch-up kind of a thing, I guess, if you didn't already watch it. But yeah, it doesn't make sense because if you're kind of hooked, you're watching it already anyway. But in any case, this was kind of cool, and of course was part of the data mines. So pretty cool that they showed this. All right, so this, of course, is Deadpool and Wolverine. This will be the July season, which, of course, is when the movie's coming out. So, smart marketing on their part. But you can see that it's funny. I covered on one of my past shows all of the data mine cards that we haven't seen in the game yet. And Gwenpool was indeed one of them. She will be the season pass for this month. And of course, you will get variants of Wolverine and Deadpool. I like the card backs, look kind of neat too. They look almost
I
like
don't like
dog
the
tags.
Wolverine one.
Oh, don't you like the Wolverine one with the
I
big
think
X?
the Wolverine is weird and bulky. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, it kind of does. I guess with the stretched out X, it does kind of look a little bulky. Yeah, I agree with you. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun season, and we can go through, if you like, really quickly. We'll talk about the cards. So we're going to start here with Ajax. Ajax is a 4/4. Ongoing gets +1 power for each card in play. Afflicted with negative power. Seems like very strong in high Evo or also with Hazmat. But yeah, what do you think of Ajax?
So, hey, who the hell is Ajax?
He is, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of Deadpool's. He's one of Deadpool's villains, I believe. And again, I might be wrong because they changed the movie continuity a little bit when they did the first Deadpool. But
Yeah.
he may be the comic version of the guy who turned him into Deadpool.
Okay.
So remember the villain that he fought in the first one, though, the guy, I think he was bald. And then he fought him on the big battleship at the very end of the movie. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that could be who this is.
Okay, sure. I don't know who the character is. This is like there's
That
like
one,
four characters in this game that are just like, who the fuck is that?
Yep.
Also, I want an Agents of Atlas season. Not that that's here or there. I think he's fine-ish. He has the potential to be like a 410, 411. I'm convinced this season is why they nerf Sabu. Just for the record, I think
oh yeah,
Gwenpool and this are why they nerf Sabu.
Yeah.
Look, the second he comes out, everyone's just jamming Luke.
Yep.
When people stop playing Luke a couple months later, all of a sudden he's going to be a really good card. But until then, he's sort of mid.
Yeah. Luke's finding play now, actually, because of the some of the cards that have come out recently. So he's being played.
And
Valentina, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, in fact, the deck I was telling you about that I was watching TLSG's video today had Luke Cage in for Valentina because his cards don't lose the power. So yeah, he seems like a cool card. Very niche, I think. Seems like a decent play in high Evo, although you have Cyclops, that's a pretty static line in that deck. I would say probably more a Hazmat deck, but the thing you got to be careful of is he's probably going to get pretty big in a Hazmat deck and definitely a Shang-Chi target for that. So, I looked it up, by the way, because now you had me curious. So I went on and looked it up. It is that guy. It's the guy from the very first Deadpool movie. Okay. So he's the one who enhanced himself like Daredevil did, or I'm sorry, like Deadpool did with the same chemicals that he injected into Deadpool. And so he has enhanced strength and stuff like that. So that is who Ajax is. Very, very different looking in the Deadpool movie, though. All right. So that is Ajax. We're going to move on to the next one. Well, that's just a funny slide. That's hilarious, by the way. I don't know what this is from. This looks like the variant, but he's got a little tiny stuffed Wolverine and a bobbleheaded Gwenpool, which I thought was hilarious. Let's go to Hydra Bob. Hydra Bob is a 2/5. After each turn, move to another location if you're losing here. What do you think?
Assuming that works on the last turn of the game, it's phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're losing, you just like, even if you're losing by 1, right? Like, he's just going to go somewhere else. That's amazing. That's incredibly strong. He doesn't have to go where it wins you the game. It's better than Captain Marvel for 2 power.
Yeah, definitely.
For 2 cost, excuse me.
Yep, definitely compared to Captain Marvel, absolutely, no doubt. It seems like a really fun card, and like you said, it should be a pretty strong card. It's a great last turn card, and yeah, I would agree. Definitely a cheaper cost card. I kind of dig it with the lore of him. Of course, he's been in the Deadpool films too. He's the guy that Deadpool runs up to at the end before that big battle at the end of the first one. It says, "Hey, Bob," that he hasn't seen in forever. So that is Hydra Bob. Yeah, he's a cool dude, and I think the card's kind of neat. So very good. All right, moving on. We've got Copycat. Copycat is a 3/5. When you draw this, steal the text from the bottom card of your opponent's deck. Bots.
great in Zemo decks. Zemo Surfer in particular, but any Zemo deck likes this.
Mill decks, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
like if you're running mill, you like either they're not going to have that card, right? Maybe you mill it, but even if you don't mill it, now it's a completely blank card because it says steal, not copy, right? Which
Yep.
is wrong for the character, but hey, whatever. But like it'll just steal the text of the card, and if you don't mill that last card, now they just drew a blank card, and like odds are it's a card that has some quality, right? So like it just seems like it's really good. It seems like it's going to be really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the fact that she's going to steal, I mean, it could be anything that they take the text from.
Mhm.
And yeah, a lot of times, I mean, I know myself, if I'm playing a deck like Hella, many times I'll draw Hella because of the last card in the bottom of my decks, and
Mhm.
that'll be the case. So yeah, she could definitely be a game changing card, no doubt, with that ability. So, and for Surfer too, like you pointed out, that's going to be a great addition to that. All right, we have Cassandra Nova. This one I want to spend a little bit of time with you here because this one is a little confusing. So she is the main villain in Deadpool 3. She is a twin of Professor X. And she's a 3/1. Now it says on reveal, drain, which we have never heard in Snap
Mhm.
before. One
Mhm.
power from each card in your opponent's deck. So this seems to be a new mechanic. Now, I know what drain is from other card games I've played. Of course, in Magic, when you drained, they had a card called Drain Life, where you literally could drain life directly from your opponent, or you could also drain it from a creature as well. So I don't know. It sounds to me like that's what this means. She's going to take one power from each card in your opponent's deck, but what I don't know, does she gain that power?
We don't know.
Or does she just take it away? So what do you think?
Okay. So you draw 4 cards at the start of the game,
Yep.
right? Bless whoever that is. You draw 4 cards at the start of the game, right? So then you draw one on turn 2 and turn 3. So that's 6 cards, right? I'm not making that up. I'm not losing it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's 6 cards. That means there's 6 on your deck, which would make her a 3/7 if you play her on curve. I have to assume that's what she does because otherwise she's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think that's the way it reads too. They don't make it clear actually what it's going to be, but yeah, I would think so. It would seem that would be the case. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it'll be something that they're going to use in the future, and that
Mhm.
maybe this card will be the first card that'll have that drain ability. I really don't know though. Drew Berry was talking about this card on his video, which of course he does a tremendous job doing these, and he was talking about just why not just say steal the 1 point instead of using the word drain, but he said they kind of do that from time to time.
I mean, they did it with recruit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something is up. We don't know what. Recruit didn't give anything extra. It does literally what the card says, right?
Yep.
So it could be nothing. It could just be like maybe you can't afflict deck. You can only afflict hands. I don't know. It could be anything. I think that this is a actively bad card if it's not gaining the power though. So I have to assume it's gaining the power.
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah. I mean,
It's good with Darkhawk stuff, potentially at least.
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you would think so. I would think that it would have to take the power away because, like you were saying, otherwise it's kind of useless. Yeah, it'll knock down some power and stuff from the cards, but yeah, to me it
It's just
wouldn't really.
more Scorpion, right?
Yeah,
Like if it
that's true.
doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, it's very true. All right, we're going to move on, and we have got, well, that's the new variant for Galactus, which he's fighting Cairo, which is kind of cool. So let's go to Gwenpool. She is, of course, the season pass card. She is a 4/4 on reveal. Pick a random card in your hand 4 times. Give +2 power each time. This confused me because I didn't know, is it going to do it with, I guess, 4 different cards, or it could be the same card, right? Pick 4
It, it
times, it just doesn't matter.
it could hit the same card, but there's no guarantee. It could hit whatever it wants. I think.
Yeah.
It's potentially really strong, right? Like it's a 4/8 that you can multiply in various ways, but then you still have to play the cards. I think this would be incredible on turn 3 with Zabu, but right, like it's just I don't know exactly if it's still good. It's potentially a lot of power. I don't know. I feel like we're working toward a strength pump deck with a few of the cards they've been releasing
Yeah.
that like just wants to do different things with pumping strength. Fastos, I believe. No, it's not Fastos. It's one of the stupid Eternals that is the season pass card that gets +2
Oh,
power for each card you have with modified strength. I never remember which Eternal is which.
they've never
They
been my favorites in Marvel,
yeah,
so
they're not good. Let me see if I can find the name of this stupid card.
I'm looking it up too.
Yeah.
Google, here we go.
Oh, I don't. It's giving
Eternals
me
24.
spotlights, but not the stupid. All right,
He's
I'll check.
I'm gonna find it. Maybe Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, thank you. Gilgamesh, like this is fine. And if Gilgamesh and Shaw make a new deck, this will go in that deck. If Gilgamesh and Shaw don't make a new deck, this will be, I think, bad. But
Yeah.
like it can Gilgamesh and Shaw and Nakia and Okoye and this be a deck? With Panther, Iron Man, maybe. All right, like we're maybe we're something. I don't know, probably not, but like it's possible.
Yeah. That could happen. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought to compare it to. Of course, it's a builder similar to Nokia, where it's going to build up the cards. Yeah, I would agree. Does it work in there? What do you think of the stat line of the card? I mean, it's a 4/4. It's not the completely ideal stat line,
I
but
mean, it's trying to be a 4/8, right?
yeah,
Like you're getting 4/8 worth of stats.
yep,
So
yeah,
it's fine. Like it's not bad.
yeah. What do you think of? I mean, for a season pass. I get, we've been getting pretty strong season pass cards, like relatively. Not shouldn't say strong. I mean, Zemo's just fun, but he created a different deck type. But I mean, for a season pass card, what's your opinion on that? Would you have gone in a different direction with any of these cards for the month rather than make this one the season? I guess you kind of have to though with the theme of the
It could be
season
consent.
pass.
Well, Gwenpool has nothing to do with Deadpool as a character.
It's true.
Except
She's
they're
not.
both
Yeah.
comedy characters. There's
Right.
nothing in common.
Yeah.
I think you can make a Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
If she's the villain of the movie, I think you can make a Cassandra.
Yeah, that probably would have been a smarter idea. Yeah.
Look, Gwenpool is popular, so it's still like they might just be going with the more popular character, saying the popular character sells the thing. And like a season after Gilgamesh, maybe they're just like, we just need a popular character because we couldn't even remember Gilgamesh's stupid name, right?
You're right.
Like, and we're both pretty big comic fans. Like, yeah, Gilgamesh. And then there's like Angelina Jolie, the Eternal, right? Like that's how that works. I know her name, but I definitely thought of Angelina Jolie before her name. You know why I know her name? Because it's Athena, and that's just Athena without
Athena. Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah, I was never, man, I could go back to even when Jack Kirby originally did them. And I even remember that he did those because of DC's New Gods. And they were very similar. Yeah. And I never ever got into them.
Well, he made DC's New Gods. And then when he left DC, he just made the same thing at Marvel because he was like, but I wasn't done telling that story.
Yep. Yeah. But I was never into it. Even the film, I watched it. It was okay. I've never watched it since. So it was a one-time watch for me. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The cards look fun. I mean, at least we're getting Arishem, which everyone seems to be excited about that card. So we'll see. It's going to be fun for creators and stuff too. It'll be fun to watch their streams. I heard Binks talking about it last night, saying that he was going to have, all Arishem streams where that's all he's going to play and everything like that. So it seems like it's going to be fun to watch. Yeah. So there's that. All right. I think that is it for the month of there. We got a Thanos variant that's coming out. This is very recent. I was just reading the whole storyline about where he encased death into the Infinity Stone, and that's what this is from. I was actually surprised. This is only like a year or so old, the comic book from this. So yeah, kind of neat. That's the Venom that was datamined, which looks sick. I don't know. It says Scan underneath that, SKAN.
Scan has done a few pieces.
Is that okay? Yeah, I wasn't aware.
I don't know who that is, but they have.
Yeah, that's sick art though on that. It looks really, really cool. All right, and we're getting a lot more of these. So we have, if I could read these, so we have Peach Momoko. These are all albums, of course. We have, there's no way. Boss Babies. I guess that looks like so baby variants. We're getting Rian Gonzalez, a chibi, a non-chibi Rian Gonzalez, and the bottom one is Move Dan Hip. So we're getting another Dan Hip bundle. So more albums.
That one's been out for a while.
Oh, has it been out? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whatchamacallit, a few months ago they had all the cards that were in it too. There's I think one new hip coming for it, and outside of that, it's all stuff I have, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I agree. I don't mind the albums. I think are okay. Like I got what was the last one that came out? I think it was a Dan Hip. I had every single one but Darkhawk, which I ended up buying because it was in the shop that day. I was also missing, I think, the Adam Warlock, but it was funny because I did like one pull of the cards that are in there that you can get them. That if you buy that one, you have an extra chance of getting it. And I ended up getting it in one pull, which was shocking because I usually never have that kind of luck. Nice. But I completed the album and stuff too. So yeah, kind of neat. So more albums are coming. This is my Thanos that I did with the silver border, but it's very, very difficult to see.
I've got that one gold with purple Kirby. It's my only gold with Kirby.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's technically I have that on the butterfly one, but because now I have that on any Thanos I want.
Did you happen to, when you opened the game, and I don't even know where it came from. I was playing it earlier today and it didn't come up. It just popped up for me. I was playing a game, got out of it, and a little screen popped up and said, "What do you want to see more of in the game?" And
I got that.
Did you get it?
Yeah, comic covers is what I picked.
That, me too.
Or whatever the thing that meant comic covers.
Yeah, it said comic covers. Yeah, I did as well. I think these are fantastic. As comic book reader, I love these. I think they're absolutely great. I think they're some of the coolest looking cards that are actually in the game.
I like the originals. I don't know if I love the new ones as much.
Oh, what do you mean?
The like Ant-Man and Absorbing Man ones are fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the Golden Age ones because they remind me of when I was reading books back in like the 70s, 80s. I like the ones that say the Marvel Comics Group title up on top. I think that's kind of neat. And then this one, of course, is just an iconic comic book. So, and one of my favorite comics that I've read in a long time. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that, if they go back that far, and one of them I think is the Avengers one, isn't it? That's a Kirby cover, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't believe so.
It's not a Jack Kirby? I thought it was.
It could be. Let's see. It will say it on the card. Clicking the card. Give me 1 second. Nope. Wait, what? George Perez. It's a Perez cover.
Oh, George Perez. Okay.
Look, I'm not complaining about George Perez. Let's just
George Perez is a legend too.
Yeah, top 5 to 10 comic artists ever for me. But I don't like that character design for Absorbing Man. I think is my big problem. I'm probably gonna grab it. Let's be completely honest, but I'm not in love with it. Like, I'll buy the ones that are coming in shops. I don't like Gray Beast, so I don't love this Beast. Who's that Beast artist?
Yep.
Let's see who this Beast artist is. This Beast artist. This is a Gil Kane. Oh, that's really cool. Famed Batman. Let's check this Ant-Man. The Ant-Man is Bob Layton. Not as big a fan of Bob Layton, but perfectly fine artist. And then there's a Cap, right?
Yep.
Let me find the Cap. Sorry,
the Captain America, I think, is the Avengers cover, yeah?
No, I went to the Avengers cover I did was the Absorbing Man.
Yeah,
so now I have to find the Cap, and I just lost it somehow. I don't know where I put it. Give me a sec. There we go. Found it. The Cap is Kirby. You're right.
Okay, that's the one.
I saw Absorbing Man when I thought Avengers first. I don't know why I thought Absorbing Man before I thought of Cap, but that's a weird place. Honestly, I kind of forgot that Cap. It's still not going to be my favorite Cap in the game, and it's not the hip. There's that the one with the grainy background.
I love that one.
It's my favorite one. Who is it? It's Samney. Is it Chris Samney?
Oh my gosh! No,
I'll find it. Give me a sec.
Yeah, good. I that was one of the first variants I've got in this game. Actually,
yeah, I got it completely randomly, and I was just like, "Whoa, what is that?"
Yep, I love it. I love how it looks like old static on a TV set. That's a brilliant Where variant. Is it?
Can't find it. Give me a sec.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, it is. Chris Samney. I nailed it. Nice.
Yeah, that's so good. If I played Captain America more, I would love to get that card inked. I think inked would look amazing because it looked like an old black and white TV still. But of course, Cap is not good, and I don't play Cap at all in almost anything I play. So
Cap.
yeah.
Wait, hang on. So Cap has the best artists on his variants.
Oh, no doubt.
We've got a Chris Samney, an Alex Ross, a Joe Madureira, where is it? I just saw it and now I lost it. A Max Greek, a Dan Hip, obviously, a Jim Lee, a Peach Momoko, and a Jack Kirby, and a Scotty Young. Like, jeez,
he's an all-star cast.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Oh my
there's
gosh!
And there's several good ones from artists I didn't mention because I don't know who Carmen Carnero is or Seamus Gallagher
is. Is it Carmine Infantino?
No, Carmen Carnero.
Oh, Carnero. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
That's either. The Hellfire gal. I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, what would you do? Because I got Gunny T to tell me about his idea with this. What would you do to fix Captain America?
I would make a Gunny T alt art card and call it a day. No, I don't know. I don't care. Just they like honestly. So people keep saying just flip him with Blue Marvel, and I don't like that. I understand what they're going for, but look, ready?
Yep.
Because you're gonna hate this. Everyone hates when I say this. I like Blue Marvel as a character better than Captain America. I think he's a more compelling character.
Okay. All right.
Like, okay, so are writers too often feel like they have to kiss Captain America's ass instead of telling good Captain America stories, where they spend so much of the narration and so much time with everyone telling us, you know who's great? Captain America. I love Captain America. Captain America makes me believe in things. He's inspiration. And it's just like, Jesus, fuck, show me. Stop telling me. So like Cap can be great, but like we either get like, so the Brubaker run that everyone loves, I don't like because it's literally just flashback. Like, it's too much World War II shit. Like, an occasional World War II story is fine, but, like, you cannot just be in World War II or, like, 90% World War II. It bores the crap out of me. And, like, that genre of Cap story bothers me, and the genre of Cap story where everyone spends the whole time going, Captain America is such a great hero. Did you read the recently Uncanny Avengers run?
I did not.
It's ridiculous. Like, every single, like, the whole book is everyone going, wow, we didn't trust humans, but Captain America sure is great. And it's just like, for fuck's sake, man. Like, you know, it's just people weren't gonna listen to this speech from anyone, but then Captain America gave it. Like,
brother.
Like, oh, gag me. Like, it's just like you can, and like they do the same shit with Superman, right? Like, so it's not just Marvel, where it's just like where like Superman speaks and the world must, and it's like, just shut up. Show me. You don't have to, like, you can show me without having the narration beat me over the head and make me want to stop reading the book, but they never do. And so, like, meanwhile, Blue Marvel is a phenomenal character who's largely, because he's not in that many books, is largely in fantastic books.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I love the discussion because I've never gravitated toward like the super popular ones. I was never an Avengers reader ever. In fact, when the films came out, that's really the first time like I knew of them and I knew who they were. But until the movie started to come out, and even when Iron Man first hit the screen, I don't even know that I have ever picked up an Iron Man book. I knew the storylines he was in. I knew the whole alcoholism thing, and I knew of them. But I don't know that I've ever picked up an Iron Man book itself unless I was reading him in other stuff, like big event stuff. And the same thing goes with Cap. When Cap came out, I know his story. And in fact, the only two books I remember I've ever owned or read from him were a book and record that came out in the 70s, where I just remember the cover. He was on the cover over a vat of bubbling something. The old classic villain thing. Zemo was in the corner. Falcon was busting through a window to help him. I remember that. And then Captain America's Bicentennial Battles, which was one of the big comics, the oversized treasury editions that were $1 back in the day. That's the only things I ever even read by Captain America. So yeah, to your point, I was never a big fan of really any of them. Thor, I didn't know much about either. Didn't really read other than the 60s cartoon. Didn't really see him very much either, but yeah.
So I read a lot of early Avengers, like early Avengers when I was
Yeah.
very young. I read an occasional Iron Man story, and then I went back and read the big ones. Iron Man's in better books than he's given credit for. And Thor has been phenomenally written basically forever. Thor goes from great run to great run. Um I mean, possibly the best run of Marvel Comics ever remains the Walt Simonson run.
Mm.
So like, Thor is a different thing, but I've read most of the Avengers. Cap's individual stuff. I think it was Grunwald. I could be making that up. The run where basically the U.S. government is infiltrated by Hydra is phenomenal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I
There's
remember that
there's a
story.
lot of really good early stuff, but like it's just there's a lot of really hokey stuff. There's a lot of really over the top stuff. It's just you find what I used to do for comics when I read a lot more than I do now is I'd figure out what writers I liked. I would try and read like one or two issues of everything, and if I liked the writer, I would just find other things they did. Because like, to use a modern example, Kieran Gillen wrote a bunch of indie books I liked. So when he came to Marvel, I was like, cool. I bet you the books are still good. And then they were, and then I just read all his stuff forever.
Yep. Yeah.
And I wasn't disappointed, right? Like I read the Nightly News from Hickman, and when he came to Marvel, I was like, well, this is an easy follow. Which I don't read basically anything indie anymore because I don't really go to the comic shop anymore. I just read on Marvel Unlimited, so I mostly just read X-Men now. But if you just find writers you like, then almost no matter who they write, there's usually good stories there.
Yeah, that's very true. I followed a bunch throughout the years as well, and I do similar to what you do. I have Marvel Unlimited too that I read stuff on. If I want something brand new, a lot of times I'll check it out. I'll get it on my Kindle and stuff like that with Kindle points and stuff, and I'll read the brand new stuff that comes out. But over the years, I've gravitated to characters like Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange from like the late 70s, early 80s. Was very, very strange. The artwork looked it was almost like 60s, all these colors and everything. I just remember in those books. A little bit darker stories too. In fact, that's where I found out about Agatha. I had no idea who Agatha was until I was reading Doctor Strange. Of course, Man Thing, as I've told a lot of people, I love those books, mostly a horror genre. When Werewolf by Night was out there and Dracula was out there and they had a mummy out there at one point too. So I gravitated to some weird stuff that not a lot of people. I remember reading the Max. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Max. The big purple character who got his own animated series. Yeah, I loved that story. Loved it. It's one of my favorite book stories that's ever been written. And the artist that did that, and of course now I'm not going to remember his name, but he was doing Hulk. And I can remember the artwork in Hulk, people were making fun of it because he drew immensely big feet. Like the Hulk's feet would be huge, like the size of the entire page. And he brought that artwork over to the Max. But yeah, it's funny how, everybody has like really, really different tastes in what they read. And I think that's phenomenal. I think that's what makes it. It's what brought me to games like this because of the fandom that I have for all of the stuff. And it's why I like to play because like we're talking about with these, I get to see these things on screen. And I think it's cool. It kind of brings back a little bit of a piece of memories and stuff for you.
Agreed, totally.
Yep. All right. So let me see here what we got left. Well, what I want to ask you is what you're looking forward to most. I mean, we talked about the patch early on and what wasn't there and stuff like that. You mentioned a couple of things you would like them to see or you would like to see from them, especially about conquest and things like that. What do you think? What are your thoughts about this whole thing with clans, leagues, whatever it is they're going to call them? I'm thinking to myself, as a casual and me kind of talking to a lot of people who listen to me that are casuals as well, leagues and clans really never came off as being a casual thing, because I remember, being in them on other games like Warcraft and stuff. You had to do it. You had to be consistent. You had to play a lot. And so I don't necessarily know that that's going to be something that the casuals can gravitate to, but I'm sure there are people out there who are going to enjoy it. But what are your thoughts on that?
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not for me. I don't know what else to say. Like,
Yeah.
I don't play super competitively.
Yep.
And like when I do, I then run out of free time pretty quickly.
Yep.
So it's just, it's not for me. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't have a really great way to put it, except that like I I don't know. I can't do anything with it. It doesn't like it's for people that spend all day grinding the game is what it feels like. And that's not me, right? Like I'm I'm worried that this is going to be their big thing, rolling this out to everyone, and like it's going to bomb. Um so we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Sometimes I'm wrong about this kind of thing. It's just, and like that you can double your like amounts competed for with gold is silly. I don't know. None of this seems especially interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your points. It does seem like something that you can't necessarily do when you don't play a lot. And I've said on my show many times, one of the things you need for this game, or for some things in this game, obviously, if you want, you want to climb the ladder, you want to get up into those ranks, you kind of have to be consistent, and you have to give it time. You have to be able to play a lot, and if you don't have the opportunity to do that, I don't know how leagues and clans are gonna have people. Plus, I saw that you can. I think, what was it? The early thing said that it was going to be 25 people.
I mean, that sounds like a nightmare for me personally.
Yeah,
So that's not something I want. Like, great. How do I pick what 25 people I'm letting into my clan?
100%.
Like, I've got, I mean, just sheerly on Patreon, right? Like, I've got like 50 something $10 Patreons. Cool. What? Like, how, like, and then, like, what about my friends? I can't, like, this is ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. 25 is very small, and I get it. Maybe they're just trying to manage it and stuff, but you're right. This is going to be a thing where I would imagine they would have known that they're going to get creators like yourself,
Mhm.
other people that are going to have, they'll have a
I mean,
laundry list.
imagine Hoogland, right? Like, or
Hoogland,
one of those.
Cozy.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh, they'll have like laundry lists of people that want to get in, and then imagine the feels bad when they don't.
Yep.
And then they're also going to be like, well, how do you choose? I mean, you can make it just a random drawing or something like they do on Twitter, but it's still, you're going to have a lot of people who will be like, well, this sucks. Yeah, I agree. I mean, even I think I was in something similar. It might have been in Warcraft. I don't remember, but the one we were in was unlimited people. I mean, there could be 1,000 people, and not all of them are going to be in there and active, but they let them have whatever amount of people they wanted. So when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's not a good idea. So yeah, man, it's crazy. A couple more things I want to talk to you about still before we end the show. First off, the tournament, man, the Grand Prix. How did all that go? Tell my listeners about it, because I know it was exciting. I watched your videos of where you were kind of casting the games and stuff like that. So it seemed like really exciting tournament, and you guys got a lot of big name players in there, man.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten pretty good at the big name players know we're going to run a good tournament, or Gunny's going to run a good tournament. Let's not even say
Yeah.
we. I don't run the tournaments. I advertise the tournaments. I make sure that the right people are involved is fundamentally my goal. But yeah, the tournament's always super smooth. It's super successful. The gameplay was incredible. My favorite thing about Marvel Snap tournaments, and I know this is stupid, is that the best players win. Like, the best players make the cut, the best players compete super highly, and then the best players win. And like, GO1, right? And it's just like, and Miley made the finals, and that's like a person who was #1 in Snap when they cared enough to be. And then Miley, who's chilling in the top 20. And just like that, great players. Not like every time, right? There's still some variance in everything. Sometimes you pick the wrong deck, sometimes the deck just betrays you. But like for the most part, it's a measure of how good you are, how smart you play, how well you play, how well you read the meta. And I think that's really cool. I was very interested in the tournament. I did think it was a roaring success. I don't know when we're doing our next one, but the league is starting. So that's
Yes.
basically everyone I spoke to who didn't join the tournament was just like, I have kids, work, life stuff. I can't just give up a day or potentially 2 full days to play in a tournament. They're all like, that's why I do the league in the first place. Okay. So we went back to the league for the next month, and we'll see. Maybe we'll do more leagues. Maybe we'll figure out other formats. Maybe we'll go back to a big 2-day tournament and just try and schedule it even further in advance so people can make it. I don't know. But it was a big ask. We got a ridiculously good showing. We got Prime Mind, thankfully, Ryan, with the ridiculous prize support, huge
Yep.
prize support that made like really helped push the tournament, really helping push the league. Everything's the whole tournament thing is going really well. So, I mean, I guess I can say it here. I'm gonna say something for the first time.
Awesome.
We're sort of, I don't want to say franchising out, but we're like, what's the right way to put this? We are gonna have like 4 streams do Snap Judgments nights.
Oh.
4 or 5 streams do Snap Judgments nights where like every day I put out 3 decks where like you, if you want gameplay, you know that on a Monday you can go to this person's stream, on a Tuesday you can go to that person's stream and see
Hmm.
those decks get played, and then that'll become a YouTube video for those people. And then like we might be sponsoring a podcast or two, so if you're interested, let me know. But
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, so we just, just we're trying to create like a little network of like just quality content from quality people that like you that people can know they can rely on to be consistent and good. People that like you're not just gonna be like, oh wow, that person's really kind of an a-hole, or like, oh man,
Mm,
I thought this was gonna be that and it's not.
yep.
Um, because I like consistency and quality is what I want this brand to be. And I never thought of it as a brand until literally a day ago.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
so I don't know, it's just me talking about shit. So I was talking to, I'm trying not to spoil someone else's announcement because I was talking to a friend of mine who was like, I want to start a podcast. Here's what I want to do. And I was like, I would like to sponsor your podcast so that
Nice.
we can make sure people see it. And then like 2 minutes later, I was like, well, I've been setting up this streamer thing. Is this just like a whole, like, this is a brand now, right? So I guess it is. But we're going to try and like spread it and try and make sure that you're not going to, okay, how do I put this? You're going to find quality across the board is my goal. You're going to find content that you can like from people that you can care about.
I love that, man. I wonder if I may know who might be that person that
I
told you
think
about
you
their
might.
podcast.
I think you might. It's a mutual
Yeah.
friend.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I
but
was
that's not, yeah,
very
that's
so
not
I
my
was
announcement to make.
super excited to see
Yeah.
that. And I'm not going to spoil it or anything like that, but I was super excited to see that. I saw it in the Discord and I was like, man, that's awesome. So yeah, listen, that's awesome. That's fantastic. The work that you had done, what you guys have built, you and Gunny, is tremendous for the community as a whole. And why not? Why not? Get out there and obviously, get the word out there for the people that are good people and you want
Absolutely.
to be in that circle. So I love that. I think that's fantastic. And as far as the tournaments go, guys, all I could say is this: get involved in the next one. Again, it's only $1 to do. There's
Yep.
nothing you can get in this world for $1 anymore. Nothing. So get in on it. I had an absolute blast playing in it. I know several other creators who I'm friends with. The Kid Snap, no big deal. People I've met like Ben Roller and other folks like that have had a ball. And I finished 2-2, but it wasn't even about that. It was about the people who I met and was able to have conversations for half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, and people who I still talk to this day, and I've come to know as friends and have actually come on this show. So I think it's fantastic, and And yeah, I would definitely be interested in that. You gotta. One thing I love about you guys is, and what you do is, it's it's very hard today in our world sometimes to promote positivity, and that's what I'm about. I love that, and I love seeing that. And you guys do a great job with that, and it's what draw me to watch you in the first place. And I appreciate that, and I'm sure all of your listeners do as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not always positive about the game, but I try and retain a positive
Hmm.
tone about just being alive and playing a game. Like second dinner might annoy me, but they're a small part of
Yeah.
a community, right? Like they're a small part of a life where just like everything in this game should be about us, the players, the
Right.
communities, enjoying ourselves, having fun, talking with friends as much as possible. Um, a lot of what I do is I just try and turn on a camera and talk to people like I would anybody.
Right. Exactly. 100%. Yep. That's why I do this. That is
Yeah.
the whole reason behind why I do it. I The background that I came from, I had a ball back in the '90s playing Magic. I just did, and it wasn't because I was a great player. I was never a big tournament winner or anything like
Hmm.
that. I loved it because of the interaction, the people who I met, the people who I still know to this day and still talk to, even though we haven't played the game in 20 years. And that is why I enjoyed it. And that's why I came in to do this. I've been blessed to have many people that I have come to know and call friends like yourself and so many others that have been on my show. And like you said, it's okay. You're not always going to be positive about everything because you can't, but you're honest, and
Hmm.
that's part of it too. People bash things to bash them, and that's a big part of why things are bad on like social media and how you always say the hellhole of X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it. It's absolute trash, and
Yep.
so yeah, that it's so hard sometimes to fight through that. But listen, the community that you've gathered, the people on your Patreon, the people who know you are, like I said, are just absolutely fantastic people, and it just makes you want to be part of it. And I'm sure everybody that's out there listening to this today, you guys really should check it out. Join the Discord, pay that dollar, come out and play. It's just fun. You will meet some people. You may meet somebody that you will become friends with, and you will know for a long, long time going forward. Hell, you may even have a really cool moment someday where you can, like the whole thing with Cozy and Alex, where I thought that was like movie quality stuff where they met for the first time. There's nothing like that. And yeah, I absolutely love it, man. I think it's fantastic.
Hey, also, if you don't want to join the league or if you're not sure you're joining the league, check out the Discord anyway. It's just a
Yep.
bunch of really friendly people chatting. Like if you're in, for example, the main Marvel Snap Discord where everyone's kind of like yelling all the time,
Yep.
no one ever yells. That's not the tone. And so find yourself a better tone, bring yourself some peace. It's a good to enjoy a game.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we do it.
Yep.
There's plenty of other forms of entertainment out there if you are playing and absolutely hate it. And I tell people that they'll be like, I can't stand this game. Like, man, go find yourself something that you like. Life is too short. You should be doing something you absolutely hate.
Yep.
So yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate you as always coming on my show. I love talking to Glazer. If you haven't already, I was just on his podcast, so check that out. I know I have the link on my X. It was
The
a
most
blast.
fun episode. It was so fun.
Oh my gosh, we got a
Yeah.
blast. Lauren Whatevs, Gunny T. I said it was like greatest hits. I've had them all on my show
Hmm.
several times. And yeah, it was just so much fun. So check that out. Also, make sure you check out Snap Judgments. Like Glazer said, he does those videos every single day, has all the decks that you need or want to play, and just videos after video. So go and check them out as well. And obviously, Gunny T, is, of course, as well. Follow him if you haven't done so already. He is a tremendous person and does such an amazing job with all of the tournaments and stuff like that too. So, all right, guys, that is it for this episode of Snap Decisions. Next up, I will be talking to Black Dama, actually. He will be
Oh,
on my
cool.
show tomorrow. So we're going to chat about Galactus, I'm sure,
A
because
lot of Galactus. Much
There'll be a lot
Galactus.
of Galactus talk on that show. But yes, he's joining me tomorrow. So check that out. That'll be out probably like late morning or so because his time is very, very different from mine.
In Germany.
Germany. Yeah, it's like a 6 hour or so difference. So that'll be out probably like late morning, early afternoon. So make sure you check that out. I apologize to my audience because I keep telling you I'm not going to overload you with stuff. And I end up keep doing like I told myself, all right, I'm like this week I'm doing 2. I'm doing my regular audio one. I'm having Glazer. And then all of a sudden I find it, I'm talking to Black Dom and he's like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm like, okay. And then today I got the patch and I'm like, okay, I got to put out some thoughts about that out there too.
Yep.
I'm addicted. So what can I say?
It's great content. And if you enjoy it, there's no reason not to.
I'm having a blast, man. I'm loving it. So yeah, guys, check that all out. Everything is, of course, on audio. If you do, head over to my YouTube channel and check this out there. Please make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure that you drop a like on the video for me as well. Leave me some comments, whether it be on Spotify or Apple Podcasts also. Oh, and don't forget, I am doing 2 season pass giveaways as well this month. And the directions are all on my Twitter. That will end next Tuesday, of course, when the next season starts at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you get out there. I have them following me on X, of course, and the YouTube channel, and then also the Kid Snap because they're kind enough to include me in theirs. So yeah, go do that if you would like to get a season pass for this coming season. So. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, Glazer. And I'm sure I will see you again on the show very, very soon.
Whenever you want.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's it for me. This is your Marvel Snap DJ signing off. I will talk to you all soon. Good night, everybody.